Howdy, welcome back to Bar 46. Today we're going to do a little bit of an informational video on something we're very proud of, is our chews. Our chews are made from and sourced from free-range, grass-fed cattle. And we get questions all the time, what's the difference between beef hide and rawhide? And in a nutshell, rawhide is the hide from an animal and chemically processed and makes it extremely brittle and becomes a choke hazard. And the people that produce those things, those factories, the rawhides, would like you to believe that's beef hide. Well, in fact, it's probably more likely to be horse or goat or dog, any of the above. But once that hide is chemically processed, it becomes brittle, and that's why it becomes a choke hazard. So don't ever feed your four-legged children rawhide, because it's not good for them. What we produce is 100% beef hide, and the only chemical that touches our product is water. We hand wash the hide, we hand flesh the hide, we shear the hide by hand, we hand roll it and put it in a dehydrator to bring it up to 165 degrees to kill any harmful pathogens that may exist. We are the healthiest, longest lasting, all natural dog chew on the market. So what you see in front of me is a piece of beef hide that we would cut to make one of our cowboy chews that you see here. You see how it's wrapped up to 4 times. It's extremely thick. Well, how do we do that? Well, we start off with a hide that is 14 inches. Let me turn that around so you can see it. Just over 14 inches wide and just over 12 inches, well, 14 long and 12 wide. So why would we take such a big piece to make a chew? Because the more hide, beef hide, that's incorporated in that chew, the longer it's going to last. And the reason that other people don't do that is it takes too much material. And then when you roll it into our cowboy chew, you have to get the heat inside there. So we have to dehydrate that over 24 hours to make sure that the internal temp is 165 and we know that it's safe. Nobody else is willing to do that because it takes too much product, it takes too much time, and they're more interested in profits than quality, and we're the opposite of that. So for us to get that cowboy chew, it takes 14 by 12 piece of material that's rolled up and then put into a dehydrator to get what we know is the longest lasting all natural chew anywhere on the market. And it took several years for us to figure that out. And the reason we call it the cowboy chew, our normal chews, by the way, our 6, 9, and 12s will outlast any other all-natural product on the market. But people continually ask for something that would last longer. So that's what we did. And the reason we call it the cowboy chew, because there's just nothing tougher than a cowboy. And a term in the cowboy world is called double tough. You know, a cowboy is double tough because when the wind's blowing and the snow's blowing, they're still going to go take care of that calf. When there's work to be done, they're not going to shirk a task. They're going to get it done. And they're just double tough. It's that simple. So I gave a lot of thought to making our toughest chew, and to me it was pretty simple. The cowboy chew, there's nothing tougher, and there's nobody else in the United States that produces what we do. We don't want to produce for everybody because we can't do that. We don't want to have a corporation produce our product, because then it takes away from what we do that's super unique here and very special. But that's what it takes to make a cowboy chew. You have to hand wash it, hand flesh it, hand shear it so that there's not an excess amount of hair. Too much hair is very unhealthy, but the right amount of hair. And then we roll it by hand, we put it in a dehydrator, and the end result is something as tough as that. And when the dogs chew on it, it becomes moist, and then it breaks down. We say that it's 99.2% digestible because the hide itself is, and it's full of collagen. It's full of a lot of healthy things, manganese for your dog, but it's that 0.8%. What is that? Well, that's the hair. And the hair flosses their teeth, it cleans their digestional tract, and is a dewormer. We like to say that our chews are, remember the 4 Ds: dental hygiene, digestion support, deworming, and aid in deworming, and durability. Those 4 Ds are exactly what we produce. And we've got a lot of feedback over the last few years on these products, and folks are very happy. But we always are asked, well, how does it compare to other people's products? And our response is pretty simple. We don't know what they're doing with those other products. So we're not going to talk bad about anybody else's product because I don't know what they're doing. If they're a factory, I've got a pretty good idea. But what we focus on is what we do here at the Bar 46, and we're very proud of it, and we want to be transparent. But you can see how much material it takes to make one chew, and that's why it lasts so long. Hey, hope this answered a few questions for you. Thanks for stopping by the Bar 46. We'll see you next time.